What if the real reason most people never become wealthy isn't money, luck, or education, but the way they think? Jim Rohn believed wealth begins with a mental shift long before it shows up in your bank account. Right now, your habits, your decisions, and your standards are quietly building your future. If you change how you think in your 20s and early 30s, you can change your entire financial destiny. In this video, you'll discover the mindset shift that creates wealth before 35. Watch till the end because the last lesson could completely change how you approach success. Lesson 1. Change your identity before your income. The fundamental mistake most people make in their pursuit of financial freedom is treating wealth as an external target rather than an internal evolution. We are conditioned to believe that if we just find the right hustle or stumble upon the right investment, our lives will change. However, Jim Rohn famously argued that your income rarely exceeds your level of personal development. This is because your current bank account is a lagging indicator of your current identity. If you handed $1 million to someone with a poverty identity, the money would vanish as quickly as it arrived because their internal thermostat is set to a lower temperature. To grow your income, you must first recalibrate that thermostat. Identity is the invisible ceiling on your potential. Think of it as the operating system of your life. If you see yourself as someone who just gets by or someone who is bad with money, your subconscious mind will actively sabotage any opportunity that threatens that self-image. You will find ways to overspend, miss deadlines, or shy away from high-stakes conversations because those actions align with who you believe you are. To break through, you must begin to identify as the person you wish to become long before the evidence appears in your reality. You must adopt the discipline, the vocabulary, and the decision-making framework of a wealthy individual while you are still broke. Becoming the kind of person who attracts opportunities requires a ruthless audit of your daily associations and inputs. If you surround yourself with 5 people who lack ambition and complain about their circumstances, you will inevitably become the 6th. Identity is contagious. By shifting your environment, reading the books that wealthy people read, attending the seminars they attend, and studying their philosophy, you begin to overwrite your old programming. You stop asking, how can I get more money, and start asking, who do I need to become to be worth more to the marketplace? The marketplace pays for value, and value is a byproduct of who you are. This shift isn't about faking it until you make it. It's about being before having. When you change your identity, your habits change effortlessly because you are simply acting in alignment with your new self. A professional athlete doesn't struggle to go to the gym, it is simply what an athlete does. Similarly, a person with a wealth identity doesn't struggle to save or invest, it is a natural extension of their character. Once the identity is locked in, the external world has no choice but to catch up to the internal reality you have created. Lesson 2. Stop blaming, start taking ownership. Blame is the ultimate sedative for the ego. It feels good in the short term because it absolves you of the pain of failure, but it is a death sentence for your financial future. When you blame the economy, your upbringing, or your employer for your lack of progress, you are effectively handing over your power to those entities. If the reason you are unsuccessful is out there, then the solution must also be out there. This puts you in a state of perpetual victimhood, waiting for the world to change so that your life can improve. Wealthy individuals understand that while they cannot control the wind, they can always adjust the sails. The transition from blame to total ownership is the most jarring mental shift a human can make. It requires you to look at every deficit in your life, your low savings, your poor health, your unfulfilling job, and admit, I am the cause of this. This isn't about self-flagellation, it's about empowerment. If you are the cause, you are also the cure. Ownership is the foundation of wealth because wealth requires the management of risk and the navigation of chaos. You cannot manage what you do not own. By taking responsibility for your current situation, you reclaim the agency necessary to change it. In the Jim Rohn philosophy, the magic begins when you stop looking for excuses and start looking for answers. Many people spend more energy constructing elaborate justifications for their failure than they would spend actually solving the problem. They become experts in the why not instead of the how to. When you adopt a philosophy of extreme ownership, you stop complaining about the unfairness of the market and start studying the rules of the game. You realize that the market is neutral. It doesn't care about your feelings, it only responds to the value you provide. Control is the ultimate currency. When you take ownership, you gain the clarity to see that your choices, not your circumstances, determine your destiny. This shift transforms your language from "I can't because" to "how can I?" This simple linguistic change opens up creative pathways in the brain that were previously blocked by the fog of resentment. Once you realize that no one is coming to save you, you finally gain the strength to save yourself. This self-reliance is the bedrock upon which all great fortunes are built. Lesson 3. Invest in skills before you invest in things. The modern world is obsessed with the trappings of wealth, the cars, the watches, and the lifestyle. However, buying luxury items with earned income before you have built a foundation of high-value skills is a recipe for long-term fragility. A car depreciates the moment you drive it off the lot, but a high-value skill like sales, coding, or public speaking appreciates every time you use it. Jim Rohn taught that you should work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Your job provides a living, but your skills provide a fortune. Before the age of 35, your primary goal should be to become unfireable by virtue of your competence. Most people are looking for a tip or a shortcut to riches, but the only sustainable shortcut is mastery. When you invest in your skills, you are building an asset that can never be taxed, stolen, or lost in a market crash. If you lost everything tomorrow but kept your skills and your mindset, you could build it all back in a fraction of the time. This is the difference between rich having money and wealthy having the capacity to generate money. The return on investment (ROI) for education and skill acquisition is mathematically superior to almost any other asset class. A $500 course that teaches you a skill worth an extra $10,000 a year provides a 2,000% return in the first year alone, and that return compounds every year for the rest of your career. Yet many people will hesitate to buy a book but won't hesitate to finance a television. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of how wealth is created. You must trade your currency for competency before you trade it for comfort. Investing in yourself also creates a multiplier effect. As you stack skills, for example, combining technical knowledge with leadership and persuasion, your value to the marketplace doesn't just add up, it explodes. You become a category of one. In an era of rapid technological change, the most valuable skill of all is the ability to learn and adapt. By prioritizing your intellectual capital over your material collection, you ensure that you are always positioned to capitalize on the next wave of opportunity, regardless of what the economy does. Lesson 4. Raise your standards, not just your goals. Goals are often nothing more than fantasies written on paper. We all want the same things: more money, better health, and more freedom. However, goals do not determine your results. Your standards do. Your standards are the non-negotiables of your life, the floor beneath which you refuse to fall. While you might goal to earn 6 figures, if your standard is to sleep in, do the bare minimum, and spend every cent you earn, your standard will always win. Success is not a pursuit, it is a result of the standards you hold for your daily existence. Jim Rohn emphasized that you attract success by the person you become, and the person you become is defined by what you tolerate. If you tolerate mediocrity in your work, you will receive mediocre rewards. If you tolerate a lack of discipline in your finances, you will live a life of financial stress. Raising your standards means moving the acceptable line higher. It means deciding that good enough is no longer good enough. When you raise your standards, you are essentially telling the universe and yourself that you are a high-value individual who expects high-value results. The power of standards lies in their consistency. A goal is a destination in the future, but a standard is a commitment in the present. If your standard is to be the most prepared person in every room, you don't need motivation to do your homework, it's simply part of your code. This eliminates the willpower gap that causes most people to fail. When excellence becomes a standard rather than a goal, it becomes an automated habit. Wealthy people have higher standards for their time, their health, and their integrity, which naturally leads to higher levels of achievement. To raise your standards, you must be willing to endure the discomfort of leaving your old self behind. It often requires saying no to things that you used to say yes to. You may have to stop hanging out with people who drain your energy, or stop consuming entertainment that numbs your mind. This social friction is the price of entry for a higher level of life. As you elevate what you expect from yourself, your external environment will begin to reorganize itself to match your new internal requirements. You don't get what you want, you get what you must have. Lesson 5. Think long-term while acting daily. The tragedy of the human condition is our tendency to overestimate what we can achieve in a month and radically underestimate what we can achieve in a decade. We are a species addicted to the now, instant gratification, fast food, and get-rich-quick schemes. However, true wealth is built on the bedrock of the slight edge or the compound effect. It is the result of small, seemingly insignificant actions taken consistently over long periods. The wealthy mental shift involves widening your time horizon while intensifying your daily focus. Long-term thinking is a superpower because it allows you to endure the valley of disappointment. When you start a new venture, learn a new skill, or begin an investment plan, the results are almost invisible for the first few months or years. Most people quit during this phase because they don't see immediate feedback. But the person who thinks in decades understands that the boring work they do today is the foundation for the exponential growth that happens later. They are willing to look like a failure in the short term to ensure they are a winner in the long term. Acting daily is the necessary counterbalance to long-term thinking. Without daily action, long-term thinking is just daydreaming. Your daily routine is the lab where your future is synthesized. Every book you read, every dollar you save, and every connection you make is a brick in the fortress of your future wealth. Jim Rohn taught that success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day, while failure is a few errors in judgment repeated every day. The difference between the two is often invisible until it is too late. When you marry a 10-year vision with a high-intensity daily schedule, you become unstoppable. You stop worrying about the daily fluctuations of the stock market or the temporary setbacks in your business because your eyes are fixed on the horizon. This perspective provides a profound sense of peace and patience. You realize that you don't need to hit a home run every day, you just need to get on base. Over time, the math of compounding will do the heavy lifting for you. Your future bank account is simply a reflection of the habits you refuse to skip today. Wealth before 35 is not about luck, it's about a mental shift. Change your identity, take ownership, invest in skills, raise your standards, think long-term and act daily. Start today because your future self is watching the choices you make right now. If this message inspired you, like the video, subscribe for more powerful Jim Rohn lessons, and remember, success isn't something you chase, it's something you become.